Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started. Today we're doing session 41 of the solo RPG, solo D&D stream. So let's go ahead and get straight to it. So let's do a quick recap. I know it's been a few weeks, so let's catch up because we left it right off a pretty big spot. So right into the action. So let's just talk a little bit about what happened last time and then we'll zip right in. So what do we have? We've got so we had finished the fight with Gimble's men and the tomb robbers and the collapsed room. We're going down into the collapsed room to try to see what we could find off the tomb robber, who unfortunately that captain, that leader of that squad, we tried everything we could to sort of save him, but he ended up getting crushed as that room collapsed. So we went down to see if what they could do. We found some daggers, a replacement dagger for Delg after he lost his last one. We did an oracle roll to see if the sort of captain studded leather was going to fit Delg, and it did, so we got to boost up Delg's AC by 1 to now it's a whopping 12, I believe. Is that correct? Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's 12. Yeah. Right? And oh, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. I brought Homer up. I was like, Homer, padded armor. Like, Delg. I need Delg. Well, let me do that real quick, I guess. Pull Delg up. Because apparently I forgot to do that. Pulled up the wrong sidekick. There we go. Let's see. Go. Wrong spot. Ignore me. Don't ignore me. Ignore me. I'm going to go ahead and open that. Okay, good. Delg, yes. Delg now has a 12 AC. because of the studded leather. Other things we found a lantern, a little piece of art, some arms and armor, cloth bolts, and some money. You know, normal things that they were sort of scavenging out of the ruined oasis around here. As we kind of talked to them before. Then we also took a moment to interrogate Gimble's man. We have one person that surrendered at the end of that fight, so we got a chance to talk to them a little bit, like, why are you here? You know, what was Gimble's scheme? What are we kind of doing here? You know, it seemed this wasn't like Gimble or Gimble's like right-hand person, so they didn't have a ton of information for us. They tell us that that was clearly surprised, like, that's not why they were here. I mean, they were also very standoffish because they're probably afraid we're going to kill them once they give us any valuable information. And so they seem surprised and unprepared to meet us, but we didn't really get to talk to them very much more because we got into sort of that fight with the hobgoblins down there who kind of showed up. Oh no, sorry. We ended up just not doing that because he took off during the hobgoblin fight. Sorry, that's what happened. During our random encounter check, our hostage went away. We had one hobgoblin that fled, that got away, and we've already done our extra random encounter roll. So apparently they ran away. They did not run for reinforcements, or if those reinforcements are going to be late in coming if they show up again. So down in that under the collapse room, we found there was chaotic good pull with the Geas effect on it. We don't know what that was. We weren't going to mess with that. That's a powerful magic spell, and we have no idea what it will do if we interact with it. So we're like, we're going to leave that alone. And so we booked it back into the mausoleum and took the trapdoor out of the top of the mausoleum, which Ott sort of climbed up that ladder and sort of peeked it open and could see that it's like a scriptorium filled with scrolls and stuff. But there's also a handful of gnolls in here, and bad stealth checks and good passive perception all around got immediately sort of picked up by them, and that's sort of where we left off. We just rolled initiative and we just got everything up and going. So that's what happens. Ott's there. Another person, one of the gnolls, turns around and starts barking, and then everybody flips around and we rolled our initiative. So it's just basically Ott's at the top of this ladder with the trapdoor. There's some gnolls in this room, and the rest of us are down in the mausoleum below. So that's sort of the situation. We're going to go ahead and, I guess, jump right into it. So let me pull it down. Let me pull it down to our combat tracker, and then I will scoot it over so we can all look at it together. There we go. All right. Ha! There we go. All right, so we're starting off right off with the... We've got that trapdoor combat. Gnolls in the scriptorium with the candlestick. Let's see. Alright, let's go ahead and hop in. So, we rolled really poorly on initiative, which means the monsters are going to go first. Now, there's only one target. There's 5 of them. There's no way they're all going to be able to get to Ott to really attack her. And she still has the trapdoors, like, she didn't throw it open. So she's still got it, like, barely open above it. So she has certainly 3/4 cover, if not full cover. No, because she could get hit with the direct attack, so it's got to be 3/4 cover. She can give her a +5 to AC and Dex, which is good. It's very good for us. And she can only take a handful of attacks. But my question is like, the Flesh Gnawers are going first. I'm trying to figure out, do the Flesh Gnawers try to open the, like, rip the trapdoor open? I think so. I think this is what's going to happen. We'll go ahead and switch our music over a little bit. Alright, let's, guess it's here. There we go. So, we're going to hop in. I think these Flesh Gnawers are going to run up, and one's going to get on either side of the trapdoor and try to grab it and lift it up. So I'm going to let them make a strength check with advantage. They only have a +1 strength. And Ott's going to be opposing that, also with strength, but she's also going to have advantage because she has gravity on her side to hold it close. So these 2 Flesh Gnawers run up on either side of the trapdoor and grab it and sort of start yanking it open. Okay, let's see how they do. It's going to be our first roll. First roll of the session. Alright, let's do our Flesh Gnawers first. We got a +1 to the roll. Oh man. Natural 20 right out of the gate. So the only way this is going to go in Ott's favor is if she also rolls a natural 20. You know, there's a 5% chance on each d20, and we get to roll 2, so they're slightly higher than 5% chance. But let's see. Alright, well that's not going to do it. What is Ott's actual strength? Okay, so Ott has a +2 strength instead of a +1. So technically she only needs a 19, because, right, this is still 2014 rules, so can't technically crit on an ability check. So, here we go. Nope, that's a few spots away from a 20. So she holds onto it and they just rip it out of her hand, and fling the thing open. But that takes both of their turns. They moved and did that. So then it's our actual Gnoll's turns. I think one can attack straight, one can't really get into the mix, and the other one has to go to the sort of far side, which I think is going to... I think I'm going to say that if they do that, that will provoke an opportunity attack from Ott. She doesn't really have anything out except her claws, or her bite. I guess she could bite. That's her unarmed attack. So, that's what's going to happen, I think. So let's get the first one. Everybody's going to have advantage on her, unfortunately. So that first attack on her. 11 plus 4. 15. I think 15 hits her. It does indeed. Alright, well, right out the gate. Here we go. So this is going to be a spear attack, so... And they are... Do they have shields? They do not. Probably going to be a two-handed, so it's going to be a d8 plus 2. Not a great way to start combat. That's okay. It's okay. Everything's fine. Probably. Alright, so Oscar takes 7 points of damage. So she is down to 22. Thank goodness we rested. And then she's going to get a swipe at one that's going by. And does she have a +5 to hit? She does indeed with her bite attack, so she is going to nip at 1. So that's going to be a D4 +2. Alright, so she's going to do 5 points of damage to one of them. Alright. That's better than nothing. But that one's kind of in the back, so I think that one's probably the hardest to see. So let's say that's hey, how's it going? Just playing some solo D&D. Fun times, getting attacked by gnolls. Everything's fine. This is not bad at all. Alright, that is all the... Oh no, that second gnoll has to make an attack. Sorry. Still has advantage. Still gonna hit. D8. Alright, and is going to also deal out 5 damage in response. Alright. Not looking good. Really need to get out of the middle of melee. That'd be useful. Alright, that's all the gnolls. That's all the bad guys. Alright, she's at the top of the trapdoor. Put stairs. That should be ladder. She's at the top of the trapdoor ladder. The trapdoor gets ripped away from her. She starts getting stabbed with spears. She is absolutely going to drop back down to the floor and step out of the way. So I think she's going to use her bonus action, that cunning action, as a sidekick that's going to allow her to disengage and get back down the ladder, move to the back. She will then pull out a bow and start firing. I think there's only one that she's going to have basically a full view of. That's a good question. Do they get any sort of cover? Let's just roll an oracle roll. No? Okay, no cover. So it's just going to be a straight shot for her. That's definitely going to hit with her longbow. And she's going to make 2 attacks, right? Yep. Alright, so she does a pretty nice 8 on the first one. And her second attack, which is not an advantage, is certainly also going to hit. Ooh, for another max damage. So that's 19 total damage. So she almost kills that first one. So that one that's just standing in the center of there gets rocked down to 3 hit points from 22. Straight off, just pop with longbow into that first gnoll. Not looking good, that one. All right. That is her. Imbar. Ooh, what's Imbar going to do? I don't think Imbar wants to necessarily climb up. Because if she gets on the ladder, she's either going to lose her weapon or her shield. Though she could rock the warhammer in one hand. I don't know if they want to push into that room tactically. I think it's better for them if they stay down here and force the gnolls to come down if they're going to do that. Especially since they have some ranged options. Now, does she have anything fun? I don't know. Let's see. I don't think she has anything fun like any sort of alchemist fire or anything like that. She has longsword, warhammer, long bow. Yeah, that's about it. She does have some arrows though. Look, she can take one shot for free. And she wouldn't get the adjacent ally thing if she was doing melee anyways. So yeah, I think she is going to kind of stand in front of some people. Because she still has a bunch of heavy armor on. But she is going to at least try to take her free once a combat shot where she doesn't have to worry about ammunition. And try to shoot that gnoll that's in the lead and take at least that one out. And consolidate their fire a little bit. Okay, that's certainly going to hit. And this guy has 3 hit points. I don't think she can't not kill him, but it doesn't matter. Alright, so then a third longbow arrow snaps into the front of the gnoll. And my question, like, as it's collapsing, does it collapse backwards or forwards? Because if it's forwards, it's going to go sort of like into the trapdoor area. So I think it's 50-50. Does it fall into the trapdoor area? It does, okay. So this body kind of pitches forward and lands sort of halfway, kind of covering it, and then I think that's going to give us one full turn of kind of cover from everybody's got good cover from everybody, 3/4 cover from everybody, until somebody moves that body, and then at the end of the round, I think we'll check to see if it has fallen. If it falls through, or somebody, if not, somebody will just have to move it. All right, that was her turn. That's all she can do. She only gets the 1 attack. Ott's the only special one that gets 2 attacks. So that's Imbar. That's Leah down at the bottom. Okay, well, we just put a bunch of stuff in Leah's way as far as casting off spells in line of sight. So, can she see one well enough to... she could always magic missile somebody. Here's the question: can she actually see anybody? Because only that one was in front of it. So, I think it's unlikely she can see anybody right now. So D20 -3. All right, still -3. That's a 13. That's better than 50%. That's 11 plus. So, yeah, she can see somebody. So she's going to cast that first level magic missile, and she'll do 3 darts. Do 10 points of damage. And, right, magic missile. There's no save, and they don't have the shield spell, so we don't have to worry about that. And I guess we'll just sort of randomly assign who kind of gets hit. Let's just roll a d4. Who she caught sight of? Oh, she caught sight of the one that was hurt. Perfect. So that one takes pop, pop, pop. 3 magic missile darts that up the ladder and through the trapdoor around the body and slap into him. Yeah, they will probably kick the body down. Or it's just going to fall down. We'll figure it out at the end of this round. But that's Imbar. She is going to... Imbar, that's Leah. She's going to move back into the mausoleum to break what she thinks is line of sight with anybody. She's a lowly wizard. She has very few hit points, and she has a not great armor class. Basically, everybody, only one person has a really good armor class, and one person has an okay armor class, and 2 people have a... Well, Leah's armor class, I think, is 15. She's alright. But Delg is the one we have to be careful for, especially since he's the healer at the moment. So, speaking of, it is his turn. Delg can... Well, we said that we could see somebody. Delg could take a sling attack, I guess. Why not? He's going to take a sling attack. They have 3/4 cover. They have a +5 to their AC, so he's probably not going to hit. I say that, and then he rolls an 18. Alright, so we're hitting the same one we hit before. 18 -5. Nope. They have an AC of 15. Does not hit. So a sling stone rockets up, bounces off that dead body. We see it slink a little bit more into the trapdoor hole. Speaking of which, it is that time. Does it fall through? I think that's pretty likely. +3. No. It is steadfast. We have not only... The way that the stone hit it and the way that it sort of slunk into the opening of the trapdoor, it's not in a way that's actually loosening it up to fall, but is in fact actually wedging it very strongly into that spot. So now it's actually going to take some effort to try to get this thing out of here by either like trying to stomp on it, trying to get it down, or grab it and try to pull it out of the hole. But there's now sort of perfectly folded body that's in the trapdoor, with arms and legs sticking out. So that's something for the gnolls to deal with, and it's their turn. Well, they did a pretty good job. Our Fleshnards did a pretty good job of manipulating the trapdoor with their strength, so I think that they're going to try to do the same thing. My question is do they try to push it through or pull it out? Let's just roll. And on high, it'll be pulling out. All right. So yeah, they each grab the arm and leg, and they lift with their legs and not with their back, and try to pull this dead gnoll body out of the trapdoor space. Yeah, since they're both going to do it, I'm going to let them do that strength check with advantage, and then we're going to have to go back and look at what the room DC is, because I don't remember what it is. So let's see if they make their check. That's a 13. That's not great. What is actually our room DC? We are... What's this one? It's 9. Oh, DC 7. Yeah, they pull it free. Easily. They easily pull it free. And toss that dead gnoll off to the side, but that is going to take basically their... Well, they have movement. They could try to jump down into the room below. And they are a fully melee creature. Tactically, that's not the smartest thing to do in the world, but gnolls aren't super tactically smart. Let's give them a wisdom save. We know what the DC is. It's going to be 7. So it's a pretty low one. But I'll give one for each of them. How about that? And they just both barely make it with their +0 in wisdom. They roll an 8 and a 9, which is just above our 7 DC. So like, you can see them, they're like getting ready to like jump down there. They got that foam starting to froth at their mouth. They're about to jump down there, and they're like, actually, maybe that's not a great idea. Let's hold on a second and see what happens. So they do not move down into the space. They don't hop down into the mausoleum below. Okay. That's what happens. So let's move to who's next, which is our actual gnolls. So one of them's gonna have to make a morale save. The one that's a 10. It's just gets plugged with an arrow and some magic missiles, right? So, or no, just magic. No, got hit with an arrow before. Yeah, that's right. So let's go ahead and do their save. All right, they're in the fight. They need to roll an 8 or lower. Roll under their charisma stat for their morale. Yeah, they're gonna stay in the fight. They're still whipped up into a blood frenzy, so they're still ready to go. All right, and we have the other one that's up there. The other gnoll. I don't think they can reach anybody with their spear. I think our group of adventurers have done a good job of moving themselves away from the ladder, so they are out of melee range. So this gnoll can either throw their spear. Oh no, they have a longbow. Okay, but they're the one that's in the position that actually has to hop across the trapdoor to get to the other side and pull where the dead gnoll was. Hop over to the other side and take a shot. I am gonna have to make them make an athletics check just because it's the middle combat trying to do something. Even though they can clearly jump the gap, it's about landing it. Oh no! Well, you know, I thought that was going to be pretty... It was probably going to be a pretty easy one, but, oh! Flubbed it, and this guy's... Yeah, I'm just going to give him a d6 fall damage. This guy just falls down the stairs. Or down the ladder. And takes 4 damage. I'm going to say that was the guy that's not hurt, because I think that makes the most sense to make that jump. So he hops down. Alright, so this guy's in the... I just put an M on there, so I know he's the one that's in the mausoleum. So he hops down, absolutely duffs it, falls to the ground, prone. Gonna use the remainder of basically his movement to get up. He still has an action. He's probably about to get mauled by a bunch of PCs. So I don't think he's actually going to take an attack. I think he's going to take the dodge action, knowing that he kind of screwed up. He didn't want to get down here, and now he's alone down here with all the other PCs. Alright, so that one is... That one's got the dodge action on, just so I know. The one that's hurt up there doesn't have a super good read. Also doesn't want to try to jump the trapdoor. The other one did. You know what? I think that one's going to ready an action. It's going to pull his bow and ready in action for one of our PCs at the bottom to move into melee range, which they're going to finally be able to like place a shot on them. So they're going to hold that action. Let's take a shot. It isn't. It is Ott's turn. Ott is no longer on the trapdoor ladder. She has moved back. There's a target down there. She has a bow. She's going to try to plug this guy with 2 shots with a long bow. One of those is definitely going to hit. One of those is definitely going to miss. So, alright. But here we go. 5 points. Going to shoot that one that fell. Oh, sorry. We had disadvantage on those attacks. Let me confirm that. Oh no, we missed both. Alright, dodge action. Stupid monsters. Trying to stay alive and stuff. It's annoying. I blame myself. I guess that makes sense. Alright, so tries to take 2 shots. This gnoll's down there doing their best Matrix bullet time thing, trying to dodge all the attacks that they're about to go through. This gauntlet of attacks they're about to get put through. Alright, that was Ott. Inbar's going to move up, which is going to proc our little shot from the guy up top. 2 is going to crit on Inbar and shoot straight down into her for 2d8 plus 1. 13 points of damage for Inbar. Yay! Yay! Ow! Okay. Alright, things do not look great. She is moving in, though. She is going to make her an attack. She has plus 6 on it. She's definitely going to hit. She's going to be using the... I think she's going to be using the long sword. And definitely have her shield out. She's not going to go for the extra damage, so she's going to use the D8. Not going to go versatile on this. 5 points of damage. That was a poor trade-off. She has an arrow sort of like sticking out of her collarbone. I forgot what I rolled. Sorry about that. I forgot what I rolled. 5. We'll just go with that. So she's going to take 8 damage. So that one's down to 10. Alright. So everybody's in flee mode down there. Our flesh gnawers are still doing alright, though. Alright, that was Inbar's turn. Leah's got 1 person down here that she can see. Things are not looking great up there. It'd be nice if we had like a web spell, but we don't have anything like that. Any sort of scroll. We gotta get her some more combat spells. That's been a problem the entire campaign, but especially in situations like this. Oh, she should have silvery barbs that crit. That would have been smart. Oh well. Though I'm not sure she could have seen the gnoll from her angle. But there's the one that's down there. She's just gonna try to firebolt it, I think. She gets a plus 5. Does not have advantage. In fact, has disadvantage. Not that it's gonna matter with a 4 on the die. Should have used frostbite. Should have used something with a save. That was my fault. That was a mistake. She stays in the back. Delg will sling, because that's what Delg can do. It'll be the easiest thing for him. Delg, it's a 14. It's just shy. Just shy, because it doesn't have any strength or dexterity. Alright, has a sling stone that flies wildly against the wall with a big clack. That is the end of the round. Back to our guys at the top. Alright, we've got 1 person down in the mess. So I think our flesh gnawers at that point are like, oh yeah, let's jump down there and get to it. So they hop down. Certainly Inbar's in front of everybody, but I think there's ways... whoever moves away from her is going to... Oh yeah, no, they're going to use their Sudden Rush ability. So Sudden Rush, until the end of the turn, the gnoll's speed increases by 60 feet, and it doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. So yeah, I think these 2 flesh gnawers jump down and book it immediately past Inbar, past the 1 person who's in like heavy armor, and they're going to go for those softer targets that are down there that are kind of hiding from them. That's not great for us. That gives us 3 potential targets, and I think I'll just roll a... I guess like a D3. 1, 2, 3. 1. And who's the second one going to go after? 2. Okay, who's 1 and 2 in our list? Alright, so these flesh gnars are going to jump down. And one's going to go after Ott. And then one's going to go after Leah. Okay, so 1 on Ott, 1 on Leah. The one rushes up on Ott and is going to... Oh man, these guys are really tough. Am I sure this is the right character? They get 3 attacks? That's wild. Just make sure. I mean, I guess they are CR1s. Alright, I'm gonna roll up and do 3 attacks, I guess, because of their multi-attack. Wow. Hit, hit, miss. Unfortunately, that's 2 hits with a short sword. It's not great. Ugh. Alright, that's 12 points. Not. Yeah, she's not looking great. Alright. Well, that is that. Everything's going swell. And 3 against Leah, which is also very bad. Alright. This time, she's certainly going to Silvery Barbs the crit. As she cannot be taking crits. So, what's the next one for? So, 1 miss and 2 hits. So she gets hit with a d6. Stop double rolling. And a d4 plus 2 on each, right? Yes. Alright, so she only takes 7 damage. And she's going to give that bonus... she's going to give that bonus d22. I think she's going to give it to Ott. I think that's the best use. So she's going to give that to Ott. So Ott's going to have the bonus die. And she only took 7 plus damage. So she's okay. She's better than most of the rest of the party. But not in a good situation with this thing right up in her face. As a wizard, that's not where you want to be. That's not where you want to be. So those are the flesh gnars. The 2 gnolls down there, they have to make their saves. The one downstairs makes it. The one upstairs doesn't make it. So the one that's at the top is like, even though they've seen sort of like the advantage pull up, they see this flesh gnar go down there and absolutely savage these characters. And these characters, they're used to like when these flesh gnars jump down on some sort of humanoid, some sort of person they're fighting, and usually go into do their frenzy of attacks, that person almost always just hits the ground. These things like jump down and attacked this lady who's just wearing robes, and she seems okay after taking 3 attacks from these like 7-foot tall creatures. She seems hurt, but still determined. And they're like, ooh, this may not be the fight for me. I think these guys are in a moment of sort of clarity for this gnoll where they're like, I don't think this is a good idea. I'm getting out of here. And so one of them runs. But the one that's down there is no longer taking the dodge action, and it's the only one. So everybody's down in the mausoleum at this point. Down there is going to rush up. Well, actually, he's going to drop down. And because they're dropping down, they can really only get to Inbar. So they'll make an attack against Inbar. It's going to be a straight attack. That will hit. They're certainly using their spear two-handed. For 5 points of damage on Inbar. Also not looking great. Now, she does have her second wind back. Which is good. Alright. This is turning into a tougher fight than I was expecting, for sure. Alright. That's them. It's back to us. Alright, it's Lott's turn. She has one right on top of her. She is going to... Here's a question. Can she maneuver around to get flanking with Leah? I think that's kind of likely. They were pretty close to each other. So +3. Yes. Okay. So she can move around into flanking. She will swap out that bow for her spear. And she's going to make an attack with advantage. That will certainly hit. So she does a d8 plus 2. For 6 points of damage. Plus 2 or plus 3? I forget. +2. Alright, so she does 6 points of damage to this first Flesh Gnar. Alright, so that one's down to 16. She whips around this little action combat roll and stabs into it with her spear. So just spears going back and forth at each other. Though I guess Flesh Gnar has a short sword. That is... Oh, sorry. She also gets... I forget. She has multi-attack. And she will hit with the second spear stab into this thing. Ooh. For a tasty max damage of 10. Very nice. Alright. That one looks very hurt. They're trading blows, and Ott giving as good as she's taking. Alright. Does she has a bonus action, but I don't think she has anything that's going to be super useful here. Help action. No, I don't think so. I don't think she's going to have anything that's going to be useful here. Alright, that's fine. We will move on. So we're going to move on to Imbar. Imbar's got that one cornered. So she's going to make her attack against that one. Against that gnoll that jumped down. Ugh. Does she have a +6? She, in fact, has a +6 to hit that 15 AC. So she's going to do it. That the longsword whips it out. It's got that sparkle of bluish moon energy in it that lights up the room. And she's hopefully going to cut this thing down. 7 points of damage. So, you know, not quite. But almost there. Right. They are looking bad. Everybody's going to have to start making morale checks now. So we're jumping in. Imbar's fighting that one off. She's trying to get this gnoll down so she can turn around and help her friends. But she is preoccupied with this gnoll. And she wasn't able to sort of get through it, though she's ripped through its sort of midsection with a blade cut. And it looks real bad. It looks like that might have been the blow that might end up killing it. So jump down to Leah. Leah's got one, the only one that hasn't been hurt at this point, on top of her. What is she going to do? I did say that we used a magic missile. Knock that off. I forget what Ice Knife does right offhand. Let me look it up real quick. Create a shot of ice, blinking at one creature within range. That would be the one. You make a ranged spell attack and a hit that takes 1d10 piercing damage. Miss, it explodes. Oh, I should have done that earlier. I thought about it. I really should have. That's not super useful for us. It's our one sort of faux AoE thing that we have. But we only have one target. And she just does not have a lot of great options here. No, she can't do that. She was going to use the Igni and let Igni use Fire Breath. But that would definitely get Imbar in it, and that's not going to be helpful for anybody. So, man, I hate to keep relying on Magic Missile, but it is so good. She's going to cast it at the 2nd level, though. So that's going to be 44 plus 4. So that is what she's going to do. It's not the greatest damage in the world. It is 11 hit points, though. It is half their HP. As she fires off a magic missile. Yeah, we have the one, the magic missile, and it has a use left. Problem is that with the 5e charge wands, is if you roll down to 0 charges, there's always a chance that it doesn't work anymore. And considering how useful magic missile's been for us, it's not something I'm willing to risk, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would definitely have used the wand. But yeah, so that's why we're casting it from our spell slots now. It also allows us to cast way upcast magic missile, which is something we normally can't do. So I definitely want to keep that wand around. Alright, that was Leah. It's Delg. Delg's got to heal somebody. Who's it going to heal? Well, not her. And it's got to be Ott, right? Yeah, it's got to be Ott. It's the person he can get to. Delg, the dwarf, combat rolls into action. The action barber surgeon, playing battle medic, rolls in and pulls out his healer kit and will give us a little heal. So it's a d6 plus 8. Slap some bandages. Oh, 9? Really? Minimum? Okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's not fine. I wish I had gotten more. 14. I don't know if that's going to keep us up through another flurry of attacks. That is Delg's action. Delg will bonus action disengage as an expert. That's what he will do. So he also does not want to be in the mix. Though he has hit points. No, we probably shouldn't trade the healer's hit points if we can avoid it. But he can't heal Ott anymore until they take a rest. You know what? He'll stay in the fray. Just to give another warm body as a target. That's what he's going to do. Alright. That's dope. That's the end of the round. Let's back up to the monsters. The monsters need to make their morale saves. So we got 2 flesh gnars. Let's see how it goes. One of them... Man, nope, both of them. Both of them save. They have a charisma of 8. So one just barely saves and one seems just fine. Then there's the third gnoll. I'll go ahead and roll for them. Oh, they're going to stay in the fight too. Yeah, these things are in a full... I'm going to stop rolling morale for them. They're clearly in a full, like, blood rage. They're not going anywhere. They're in the crazy blood frenzy. They're in their battle frenzy. They're not leaving anywhere. These are guys you're going to have to kill all the way. That's not great for us. Alright, Flesh Gnars. Let's see. Does this one take the bait and go after Delg? Sure does. Alright, turns around and makes 3 attacks on Delg. Ooh, miss, but 1 hit for sure. For a d6 plus 2, I'll take 6 points of damage. He can definitely take that damage. 14. This short sword cuts through his fancy new leather armor. Really just breaking it in at this point. Alright, that is the first Flesh Gnar. The second Flesh Gnar is on Leah. Can it reach anybody else? Yes. I'm going to assume that means it can reach everybody. So let's see who it goes after. Ott, Leah, Delg. Delg. Oh, okay. Turns around and makes an attack on Delg, surprisingly. And it's going to hit Delg. Second attack is also going to hit Delg. And third attack will also hit Delg. Great. Oop. Okay, that's not terrible. It's not good. Could have been worse, I guess. That's 15 points damage to Delg, who has 14 hit points. So he's at oop. Ah! Hit the wrong button. There we go. So he goes from a nice 14 down to a nice -1 as he gets knocked the f out. Third gnoll. Third gnoll's also they're in the blood frenzy. It's tough. Oh, sorry, Flesh Gnar goes into rampage. As it reduces the creature to 0 hit points, that would be Delg. With melee attack on his turn, moves up to half its speed and makes a bite attack. Alright, on low that's going to be Ott. That's high. So it's going to be against Leah. That's definitely going to hit Leah. For 3 points of damage. Man. Leah's doing okay. Everybody else not looking so hot. Alright. Yeah, it's getting real serious. This is not looking great. Okay. All the bad guys are gone. It's Odd's turn. Odd has a flesh gnawer on her. Did say that she was able to get specifically advantage with Leah for flanking. So she is going to take that, hold it, and make her first attack. With advantage, she will hit. For maximum damage. That's what we needed. That's 10. That first flesh gnawer, she cuts that one down. Now there is the other one. So she could either go against that one or the gnoll. So that, oh, she reduced the creature to 0. Can move up to half its speed and make a bite attack. Well, immediately, so we watch Odd sort of, they're fighting, and then as she kills this one, she goes into her own battle frenzy and starts to froth at the mouth. And she will move up into flanking with Leah on the gnoll that's on her, and make a stab at that one. And we'll hit. For 5 points of damage. Okay. Alright. Becoming more manageable. Alright. That's Odd. Great turn, Odd. Imbar, I was going to say Imbar could move away, but she can't really take the opportunity attack. She's going to use her bonus action, and she is going to second wind. So let's get back some hit points. I'll take that. I'll take 13. 13 is a good number. Like that. Back up to 24. So she's looking better. She is going to attack this gnoll. Missed. There's nothing else she can do. She is not doing very well this fight. Just in general. Alright, that's Imbar. It's Leah. Leah has the flesh gnawer in front of her. Oh, what could she do? Yeah, she's going to... I think she's going to pull out Chromatic Orb. I think that's what she's going to do. You hurl an orb of energy, 90 feet. $3d8. Oh, it's still a ranged spell attack. I want something that doesn't do a ranged spell attack, because I'm going to have disadvantage on those. Okay, magic missile. I'm not going to magic missile. You know what I'm going to do? She's going to do a Leah old school style. You know what? F it. She is going to just try to whack this thing with her staff. I don't think that's going to hit, unfortunately. Nope, that's 13. So she swings at this flesh gnawer with her staff, but not enough to do any damage. Kind of bounces off of its like hardened head. Oh. But it isn't very effective. Delg makes a death saving throw. Delg passes. Success. It's the end of the turn. It's back up at the top. Flesh gnawer. I said they were not gonna make morale checks anymore, and we're gonna stick with that. The flesh gnawer has 2 immediate targets. I guess if it's low, it'll be against Ott. That's low. It's against Ott. 3 attacks. Oh, another crit. I don't think Ott can take the crit. She for sure can't take the crit. I guess we'll Silvery Barbs again? I think. And she's gonna give that extra D20 to... Ott's got one still, so gonna give it to Imbar. No. Choose you can see within range. Creature has advantage on the next ability check. Gonna give it to Delg to have advantage on death saving throw, because they, according to the spell, does not need to see or hear me. I just have to see them. So she can definitely see her friend unconscious on the ground. Okay. That's a miss. That's a hit. I think the 10's gonna hit as well, unfortunately. What's their bonus to attack? Ooh, no, it's +4. That... Oh, her AC is... Alright. So she's gonna take 2 hits. And both of them are short sword hits. Okay. Could have been way worse. It's 9. Ott's still standing with 5 hit points. She's gonna get her turn. And we have our gnoll that's down there. Yeah, it was going to obviously attack Imbar. They're just in a 1-on-1 standoff. Is not going to hit. That's a 19 to hit. She has her shield out. She got a 20 AC, baby. Misses. Nice. Alright, that's where we are. Ott is in the mix. Ott's in the blood rampage. Ott will make an attack. Ott will hit. Ott will kill. Fleshnar. Gone. Which procs her sudden rush. So she stabs her spear through this one and throws it against the wall and rips her spear out of it, like flips around and immediately runs and hops on the one into flanking with the one that's on Imbar and will make her bite attack with advantage. Her free bite attack. And probably not hit with that. What's their AC? Their AC is 15. Yeah, that for sure. Does that hit? I don't think so. No, misses by 1. But she still has another regular attack that she gets to make with advantage. Yeah. I don't think she can't not kill it, but I guess we'll find out. I believe she does 3 damage, which is exactly how many hit points it has. Thank goodness, because we were trying not to kill that monster. And she runs this one through in the back, and that is the end of it. Ott has sort of a cooldown period, usually after she goes into a battle frenzy. So she just kind of... just kind of stomps around the dead gnolls. So that's what she's going to do. Leah is going to run over to Delg and do a medicine check. Yeah, she's not trained in medicine, is she? She's not. And it's a wisdom trait, of course it is. Which means she's not any good at it. Yep, she still stabilizes him anyways. She grabs a band-aid out of his healer's kit and puts it on his forehead and kisses it. Boo-boo done. Everything all better now. Just for funsies, I'm going to give him his death save throw with advantages to see if he wakes up with 1 hit point. He does not. So they're kind of forced to take a short rest at this point. Just to kind of wait for Delg to wake back up, because nobody has any healing magic. So I think we are fresh out of potions too. Yeah, we don't have any potions. So, you know, it's not great. We've been in better situations. Hasn't been our best. So we're gonna sit down and we're gonna take a little. Just like a little nap. Like a little nap, and see if we can heal up a little bit. So we're gonna do that before we start searching anything. I learned from the Ring episode in this same room, don't go investigating things before you take the rest. Do it after you take the rest. So we're gonna take the rest first. That's what we're gonna do. Now we do have to roll. There is a guy that ran away. So we are gonna have to roll a random encounter check, because we're trying to take a rest in the middle of a dungeon. We have disadvantage because one guy ran away. There's a chance that he could have found backup. Or at least alerted people. So it's a D12. All we gotta do is not roll a 1. Okay. Okay, so we're able to complete a short rest. That is very clutch for us. We did really not want to get into another combat right off the bat. And Leah's obviously going to spend the hit die. D6 plus 2. 4. Not great, but it is what it is. Just up to 21. She could overroll with the next one, so I don't think I'm going to heal her up any more than that. Alright. Ott is going to have finished her short rest so she can be healed again. She's going to spend some hit dice. At least 2. Alright. 8 hit points back. She certainly has the most hit dice out of anybody. The sidekicks are weird like that. I think we're going to spend at least 2 more hit dice. I think we got 2. Alright, so another 12 back. Alright, that's going to be better. Alright, that'll put us up to 25. Which is not great, and it basically wipes out our hit dice for the day. But hey, it's something. It's something. Alright. So, Ott looks not super great. We do have to remember that I think I rolled maximum for the gnoll encounter, which is why it was so difficult. Imbar could spend a hit die. Yeah, sure, why not? She'll spend a hit die. So she gets a D8 plus 2. Nice. Maximum. 10. But again, down to 1 hit die apiece. Remember, when you rest, you only get half of your max. So, makes adventuring in the low levels really difficult when you're relying on rest, because we don't have a magic caster that heals. Del, of course, is stabilized and comes back basically with 1 hit point at the end of the short rest. Has no hit dice remaining, is down to 1 hit point. Alright. So he's going to go around and he's going to at least have to use the healer kit to heal on himself. We also need to make a check on the healer kit. Okay, we're good there. Alright. If I'm going to do the healer kit, I should probably do the healer kit for everybody. But I think everybody's pretty far away. Because I'm going to give him a minimum of 9 hit points. Right? 9? Yes, a minimum of 9 hit points. So everybody would be sitting pretty after that. But after I do that, I've got to make another check on the healer's kit to see if I'm running out of supplies. So if I want to do it, I want to like sit down and do it for everybody. So that would definitely get Leah to full. It's going to get Ott much closer. Imbar will probably get full. Del will have more than 1 hit point. I think it's a good use. Oh, how do you play solo D&D? So D&D is pretty simple. It's kind of like normal D&D. I have some sidekick characters that I'm running with to kind of fill out some of the party. And we use sort of a D20 oracle role to ask questions and get the answers for things, those sort of blank spots that the Dungeon Master will kind of fill in as they're sort of describing things and as you're sort of investigating and checking things out. So, pretty simple. Yeah, just watch and you'll see how it works really easily. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in. I'll try to answer them as I'm going along. Yeah, gotta use the healer kit. They have to use the healer kit. We would be a fool not to use the healer kit. Now, this is a make or break situation because this could absolutely bone our adventure. We might have to leave the dungeon if we run out. All right, that's 10 points. He'll get back, I guess. All right, so he's got 11 hit points. And I gotta put our little X here so I know that they can't be healed again. Alright, Imbar's gotta immediately go full. It's 9 minimum. As will Ott. And as will Leah. So everybody else goes back up to full because of that. So, a smart decision. But potentially a costly one. I gotta roll a d4. We do not want to roll a 1. That's a 3. Okay. Good. I also need to check Ott's arrows. Her arrows are also fine. So she's able to reclaim most of her arrows, and we're doing fine on ammunition. Okay, we took our rest. We're in the scriptorium room. Most everybody's feeling better. Delg looks real bad, though. Delg looks exhausted. Not the condition exhausted, just exhausted as in he has no hit dice left. He barely has hit points left. It's important to remember, or if you're new, that Delg is not an adventurer by nature. He's a barber surgeon. He's basically a layman's healer from a city. He's not an adventurer by any stretch of the means. He's just kind of gotten pulled into this flurry of activity and has really only been sort of coaxed into sticking around because he has good healing abilities because of his background. And that's the reason he's here. Yeah, poor Del. What has he gotten himself into? Yeah, this is the problem. This is the problem when you're friends with Harrell. Or you're an associate of Harrell. And Harrell's at this sort of mysterious center of everything that's going on with Harrell's own death. And trying to figure that out. But Delg was clearly part of his sort of information network. And, but was just sort of like a middleman. Like, knows basically nothing about what's going on. It just, through circumstance, has been thrust sort of headfirst into this horrifically violent and dangerous lifestyle. He's gonna probably be looking to get himself out of this as quickly as he can. He's been a real trooper, but he is not an adventurer, so we're probably gonna have to let Delg retire to more of a downtime kind of character, I think, at this point. Kind of following with Omer and some of the other people. You and Delker, sure. Yeah, that's fair. Me too. Me too. Alright. Do we want to check out the scriptorium? They were ransacking it. I guess we should have a look at them and just kind of toss the room in general. And I think that will be helpful for us. Where am I at? Boop. There we go. Yeah, so they've already tossed the room pretty well. There's a pile of junk in the center. There is an ancient facility trap protecting treasure. That's right, we did see that. And that is back up here. So, we got our fight within the scriptorium. It went very badly. What's it looking for? There's something in here in our notes. I know it because I remember seeing it. There it is, the religious item. Trapped in a container. There's that sort of alarm spell or notification that's set on it. Alright. Oh, thank you for the sub. Now we can find out together. And we'll all be sure of Delg's fate at some point. Alright, so we've got a religious item, and that's the one thing that looks to be of immediate value in here. We're also going to roll the gnolls to see if they have anything on them. But, we've got the religious item. We also don't have anybody who's particularly thievy. It is sort of an arcane trap, though. So maybe this is something that Leah could attempt. Oh, Ott has Thieves' Tools. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Leah and Ott together, I couldn't remember if Ott has Thieves' Tools or not, are going to, like, work together to see if they can sort of get around this alarm trap and be able to take out this, what looks like a very notable religious item. I don't know. I'm just thinking something that's, I don't know, like urnish? I don't know why that's kind of jumping to my mind, but some sort of, like, sacred urn, or not necessarily like an ark, but some sort of, like, vessel that's of some significance. Is, you know, got plenty of sort of, like, precious stones and filigree of precious metals and things of that nature. None of our people are particularly religious, so they may or may not know what it is. So what is our DC? What's our room DC again? It is... Our room DC is 7. Okay, so we've got a really, really easy DC. That's going to be very helpful for us. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take them and basically make Leah do an Arcana check first with that 7 DC. If she passes it, she's going to give advantage to Ott, who's going to disarm the trap. Oh yeah, easy. Leah kind of takes a look at it, pulls out her sort of arcane tome, and is kind of flipping through it, and some of her old notes. It's like, okay, this seems like a very basic sort of alarm trap pattern. You just make sure that you don't hit this over here, and I'm going to use sort of like a arcane grounding device to sort of dampen it a little bit, so you should get to the... And it kind of goes into a more laborious explanation, and Ott tunes out about 5 seconds in. Starts looking around. She still has, like, blood and foam flecks sort of, like, on her face. Clearly not interested. Kind of pulls out her lockpicks and starts, like, bumbling around in her big hands. But she's going to have advantage on her Thieves' Tool check, which she's already pretty decent at. Yeah, none of this is a problem. For who are becoming skilled adventurers and or looters and robbers in their own right. They're able to sort of extricate this magic vase, urn, whatever it's going to be. That's some sort of vessel of that time. Sort of amphora, or who knows. Alright, so let's find out. Roll. See kind of what the value of this thing is. 9. Okay. Alright, so 1d20, 1d20 of what? Oh no, it's not going to be valuable at all! They get it out, and they realize that it is a relatively cheap, kind of maybe display model, or maybe has more significance than material worth. Like, it has a different kind of worth to the faithful, but for as far as material value, this thing's worth 11 silver. They kind of get it out and realize that it's sort of like a painted up, trussed up costume jewelry kind of. It's worth 11 copper. It's nothing. It's really not even worth writing down, but I will go ahead and write it down. Just because I feel like we... So, I want to write down just because I feel like we overpaid for this in blood. We played a lot of iron price for not much copper value. Let's say amphora with 11 copper. Wow. We had our combat with the trapdoor. It went badly. Very hurt. We are very hurt. Please send help. Okay. Alright. Well, maybe we'll find something better on the gnolls. Alright, let's do the gnolls. Just because we're already here. Loot room and bodies. So we got the M4 worth 11 copper, basically worthless. I'm not sure we'll find anything quite that low of value, even on the gnolls themselves. But we know they were in the process of looting, so that would explain if they have anything useful. Why? So there's 5 of them, so we're just gonna make... let's make an investigation roll. And that'll kind of depend. I'll roll a die to see how many rolls I'm going to do on the loot chart. Investigation check. I'm going to give her advantage. We have people with her. That's pretty good. I'm going to say 2d4. Ooh. All right. These gnolls. They got a lot of nothing. They're picking through the garbage, basically. Yeah, they're not getting the components used for the arcane trap with a big value. That would make more sense, yeah, than the actual thing, the actual Amphora we pulled out of it. All right, a couple D. We got a couple D20 rolls. We'll just go one at a time. So what's our first thing? Ooh, it's that's a pocket contents. So, something that somebody has, just normal pocket stuff. 2-3. They find a hand drum. Okay. They found a small musical instrument. Weirdly humanizes... and drum. Weirdly humanizes the people we just killed, but to be fair, they were trying to kill us. Being more than just bloodthirsty monsters. More pocket contents. Perfect. Remove this. Get out of here. 52. Yep, just find a little pouch of coins. D10 of silver. 5 silver. So this guy is actually walking around with so just a pouch of 5 silver. Yeah, so they were already walking around with more money than they found in this room, probably. Alright. Unfortunately, we did spend some time to loot the room, which means that there is a chance that we might have another encounter. We don't. Yes, everybody stops and freezes for a second as they hear noise in the far distance echoing down some hallway, and then it fades away. And everybody kind of has that little sigh of relief. That's sort of the situation. Is there any way out of this room? I don't think so. Actually, we have not checked for exits in this room yet, I'm pretty sure. So let me go down here. Yes, we have not. Alright. How many? I think we have 13. Is that what we decided on? Yes. So we have a target of 13 rooms. So the question is, that we gotta check for some exits. It's D6 rolls. Right. Well, we knew that one already. That would technically be a door going down, an exit way going down out of this room. We already know there's one. That's the room. That's the way we came in. So this is a dead end in our dungeon. So this is just a weird little scriptorium. It looks like, as they have sort of flipped through some of this stuff, that most of it's just like weird death records and things like that, body preparations, instructional things, notes, research stuff, but none of it particularly useful or valuable to us. So we just kind of leave it be. That in itself was not particularly useful. I guess that's a good question. Does Doug find anything of use? Because Del would be looking for something else in here. If he could find some sort of ancient tome of anatomy or something like that that might help him professionally in his healing. I think it's extremely unlikely considering this is a death room. But I'm going to make the roll anyway. So it's -5. If so, I'm going to give him... He's going to get something neat that's going to be helpful. -5. So no. The answer is no. Yes. Yes, that is... Yes, your question about checking for exits is separate from someone searching for secret exits. That is true. Yes, it is. It is different. We also did not check for any secret doors. We could check for secret doors. I'm pretty sure this is just the end of the line, so I hadn't really been thinking about it, but sure, we can make a investigation check. It's very low DC for this room. Yeah, we're going to be very, very certain if whether there's any secret exits here. So, what's our roll for secret exits? For little secret bits. Room contents, elevation change, secrets and exits. It's a D20 roll. It's extremely unlikely, I should say. There's only only in one natural 20 do you end up finding a secret passage or compartment with this system, anyways. You do find other exits to different dungeon levels though, if you roll a 1. But I rolled a 2 through 19, which is nothing. So they do their time. That's part of their investigation check. I should have said that it wasn't extra time they probably spent looking for things, but do not find any sort of secret compartments or passageways or anything like that. So, as far as they're concerned, it's a full dead end. Alright, which means that they're going to have to do some backtracking. Is there anything that they want to do in this room before they backtrack? We've taken a short rest. We've healed up as much as we can. Speaking of which, I need to give everybody their little X for the healing. Unfortunately, Doug did not find anything useful in here, which sucks. Maybe I shouldn't have healed them. Maybe I should have waited. Oh well. It's too late now. What's done is done. So we're going to have to start backtracking. So we got to backtrack through the mausoleum. And that means, as far as we know, we have to backtrack all the way up next to... back past the under fountain to go towards that room that we think might be from that gnoll hand-drawn scribbled map that we found a while back on one of the bigger gnolls for number 3. Which was the destroyed vivisection or dissection room. We actually have not been to this room yet. Right? It seems wrong to me. It says no secrets or exits. We definitely did, though. That's the wrong room. I think that's supposed to be 5. I think I have 3 and 5 mixed up. Oh, no. Oh, that's right. We just had, I just left that note because we already checked for it. We already know that there are exits there. I don't know why I wrote it that way, but these go to 5. No secrets. This should be exits. Exits to 5 and 7. Okay. Meanwhile, we do have to do a bunch of backtracking. We are going to have to do at least 2 backtracking checks, which means 2 rolls that there might be some sort of random encounter. So everybody drops back down into the mausoleum after collecting their things. Nothing there. They start heading back and start winding their way back up the stairs towards the part where they'd split off from outside the under fountain. Anything there? No. So they have the chance. They're in the hallway right at the exit of the under fountain, and following the map, the crude map that they had, someplace that may or may not be the command section. Do know that off of some previous information that we found, not from that gnoll node map, that this room is supposed to be like a vivisection dissection room / operating theater for their weird, bizarre, arcane research that was being done here previously in days gone by. And we think that that is where this foreign faction has sort of set up their command. That is a big assumption we're making, but it is the assumption we've made. And so I think everybody's gonna make a little stealth check. So we can choose who we want to choose. Ott's certainly out front because she has expertise in stealth. That gives her what, a +7? A +7 to roll. Whew. So we're gonna let her lead, and she'll take the lead in stealth. Alright, it's a 14. That's not a great roll. That's okay. Let's see what happens. So they are going to sneak up. Where's this? As they're heading down that hallway, there's magical lights, right, that fill up that place, and there are creatures in this room. So do we hear? Does she hear talking? I guess that's a perception check. Or maybe that's just passive perception. That's just an oracle roll. Does she hear talking? Yes. Is it gnoll? I don't think so. No, it's absolutely not gnoll, which means it's a language she doesn't understand with a natural one. She kind of pulls forward where the magical lights in that room, and hears people talking, kind of leaning in. And sorry, let me change the audio out a little bit. There we go. Kind of leans in a little bit to listen. And hears that speaking. Doesn't recognize the language. Slips back into the shadows. Let's see, though. Does she slip back into the shadows? Alright, this room was a DC 16. So as she moves, she casts a weird... She catches part of the light as she's turning around, or makes just enough noise that somebody in the room whips around and sees her. So this is going to be people in here. Are these people the foreign faction? It's almost guaranteed. I feel like at this point, it's almost guaranteed. It's got to be a +5. It's just the foreign faction. Yes. And not only this foreign faction, this is like the full head. This is the command center. It's full yes, full send. All right. So that is what we've got in there. So there's going to be some creatures in here. I think they're going to be humanoids. Let me just go ahead and filter that from our foreign faction. And we have 4 level 4 creatures. We would definitely want a hard encounter. Alright. Not that. I don't like any of these. Could use the bugbears. What do we got down here? What would be a good... I'm trying to think of what would be a good... Some half guys? Maybe like some thugs, right? Thug, maybe a scout. Maybe some quarters? I don't want to do those. There's like a guard, right? Somebody who's a good... What's a good quarter humanoid to be? Yeah, I guess they're technically an 8. Let's go with tribal warriors. Yeah, maybe we'll add a noble in. I like noble scout, and then maybe just kind of like a bunch of tribal warriors. Oh, there's a bunch of guys in this room. That's up to 14, so I'm going to make that a 2d6 +2 roll. Let's hope that I roll low. Oh, not too bad. So only 7. That would be only 7. So 7 warriors, a noble, and a scout. Yeah, I think we've dealt with the small goblin contingent for the most part. There are goblins around here, but I think we've bypassed them in almost every sense. We've mainly fought gnolls. We have fought some goblins, though. This is really the first time we come across Form action, and it's like a full retinue of people. Right, there's like 7 tribal warriors, a noble, and a scout. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put these guys in here, and then we're gonna figure that out. So we're gonna have got a noble, a scout, and they're just guards, right? No, sorry, tribal warriors. I'm just going to assume that the scout is the person who saw them just sort of right offhand, because that's going to make the most sense to me. I'm just going to pull up some stat blocks real quick. There we go, going to pop that out. Okay, the scout. Alright, so we've got the scout, we've got the noble, and we need our tribal warriors. So I think like I said, for sure, it's the scout that sees Ott, being a very similar sort of build. Sees that, and also they have keen hearing and sight. So they have advantage anyway, so that makes sense. For sure, why that would be the first person who sees them. And picks them out and starts yelling stuff in a foreign language that Ott doesn't understand. It kind of trickles back. Does anybody else, other people hear it, does anybody understand this language? And by that, do I mean Leah? No. I think we knew that already, but now we also have that. I thought maybe we kind of pseudo-translated something from them, but I think it took some time. It was definitely not a recognize it by hearing it and understand what's being said. Sort of like a modern English to sort of like Middle English, like, what are you saying? Kind of thing. They kind of have to sit down. It's easier to translate, like parse it by reading it rather than hearing somebody speak it. So I think that's sort of the situation, and I think it's probably gonna be combat. The scout's giving a shout, and I assume you know what? I'm going to give Ott, who's the only person who can see this scout, an insight check. Ott, my dearest honey child, you have to roll higher. That natural one will not be helpful. It makes sense. She's a big gnoll. She, at her best, still has trouble kind of understanding humanoid body language. She still doesn't quite get it. So she sees the scout turn around, start yelling at her. Kind of pauses for a half second, trying to figure out, like, are they upset with me? They're saying that they didn't just immediately pull a weapon, but is yelling at us and probably pointing at us and moving in our direction. But she cannot tell whether this person's upset with her, is coming to stop her. She doesn't know. She doesn't speak the language, and she doesn't understand the body language. And this person is being aggressive tone in their voice and moving towards them. What is Ott gonna do? Does Ott run? Ott's not super hurt. She's a fool. Scout probably looks competent, but here's a question. Does she see how many people are in the room? No. Okay. So she probably feels more confident because she doesn't know that there's a bunch of people in the room. Yeah, I think she's going to take a shot, and then we're going to go into initiative. Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, we're just going to go straight into another combat. Because she's going to take a shot. Let's, what is everybody's going to go on? They have initiative +2. 0. and split the difference and put them all at initiative +1. So all the bad guys are on 11. Which is good. Everybody's going on 11. So we got our noble, we got our scout, and we've got our tribal warriors, which there are 7 of. They have 11 hit points each. 7. The scout has... oh, only 16 for being a half CR. That's interesting. And our noble has... oh, only 9. Okay. So this could go well for us. But I am going to take just a short break. I'm going to refill my coffee, take a little bio break. I'll be back in just a second. We're going to finish. We're going to roll initiative, and maybe this will be a conversation. There's a language barrier. Somebody has comprehend languages, though. But she isn't the one in the front making the decisions right now. That's Ott. And Ott is... Ott is true to her core. She knows who she is, and so I expect that this is about to... she is going to pull out her bow. Actually, that is what she's going to do. She's going to pull out her bow and take a shot. We're just going to have to figure out where that is in the initiative when she's the first one making the move. So I'm going to take that quick break, and then I'm going to be right back. Alright, guys? Alright, let's go ahead and hop back in. So, it's time to roll some initiative. Move that out so you guys can see it full. Alright, we're just going to go down the line. So we've got up first. We are looking to beat an 11. I think we'll probably be okay. Yes. No. Very yes. And, that's our last one. And a no. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see how that checked out. Alright, so that's going before. It's going before, then it's going to be in bar. It's actually Delg in bar, and then actually Leah is the one that's going first. With that natural 20 on initiative. Woof. Which is going to be interesting. Question. So that's the hop in. So yeah, I think like this initiative check is, in a way, Leah getting the natural 20 on initiative. I'm going to allow her to basically leap forward when she sees that sort of Ott starts moving. There's yelling and stomping of feet towards them, and Ott's starting to reach for her weapon, and I think that Lee's going to use that natural 20 on initiative to step forward and kind of step in front and sort of like wave up her hands, be like, "Oh, we're done. I'm here to talk." She will try to communicate, so I believe with comprehend languages. Let me remember correctly. Let me just look it up before I just start remembering it incorrectly. Comprehend languages. Understand the literal meaning of any language that you hear or see signed. Understand any written language, and you must be touching the surface. Which again, unlike tongues, allows me to understand it, but does not allow me to speak it back or write it back. But is able to understand. So she's going to run up to the front and use comprehend languages on herself as she moves to the front. Actually, I think she'll do it first. This person's yelling before she moves up into attack. She's going to cast comprehend languages on herself. Unfortunately, she's not going to do it as a ritual. She's going to do it as a full-blown spell, because she's got to do it right in the middle of the action. So, that'll be a spell slot. Oh, I should do arcane recovery. Equal to half my level back, so I can get a second level spell or 2 first levels back. I can go with the 2 first levels. One of which I will immediately step for comprehend languages. Basically a free spell. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Could be a lot worse. And still gonna hop back in. And, alright. Let's do sort of like a 2d6 reaction roll. Be like, how are they feeling? 7. It's sort of right back to down the middle. So it's sort of a suspicious, hey, what are you doing here kind of thing. Kind of coming over there. What are they asking about? That's a good question. My first initial thought is they're asking for a specific like gnoll leader or person. Is that what they're doing? No. Okay. Rather than ask myself a whole bunch of kind of blind, stumbling around questions, I am going to use my... I just put it away because I was just using it yesterday. There we go. This handy dandy. One of the things, I know I've said this on the stream before, but trying out the solo dark prompts with LCD on. Just to kind of test them out. So it's 2D100s. To give us a little prompt to see what this person's talking about. 86. 86. Defeat. And 10. Defeat would. Oh, defeat risk. I think this person's literally coming up to ask Ott about whether the intruders have been dealt with. And then those intruders could be us, that could be the Tomb Robbers, that could be Gimbal, we don't know. It's asking, you know, have you dealt with the... Have your people dealt with the threat? And that's what she's kind of yelling at Ott. Is Lee going to step forward Ooh, that's a good question, because we don't know if that's referencing us or referencing somebody else. Ooh, that's a real dicey thing. That's a big commitment to just kind of step up in front. And if that's you, then I guess we'll find out real quick. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. We don't know. Let's try it. So Leah steps up into the room and I think just starts barking in, I guess, Common. She has quite a few languages. But, Draconic, Elvish, whichever of these languages that she has that she thinks is most alike to what they're speaking, whether that's Common, Draconic, Elvish, Primordial, or Undercommon. Probably not Primordial, but it could be something like an Undercommon or something like that. Maybe Draconic, maybe Elvish, who knows. So she kind of starts barking back at them about, yes, we defeated the intruders, and, you know, we need to speak with your leader. We need to speak with your leader about that. So I'm going to let her make a persuasion check. But the persuasion check is going to be at disadvantage because she doesn't really speak the language. Not that it matters, she's not particularly good at that stuff anyways. And nobody else speaks it, so nobody else can really help her. Alright, that's not bad, that's 13. What was our room DC? Have we set one? Ooh, did we set one or not? Alright, the room DC was 16. No, at 13 we're not going to make it. So she starts paddling off, and this person kind of like, as she sees him, takes the corner. Yeah, sure, I'll give her a free insight check. For, I believe that is a whopping, yeah, 9. So yeah, she does not have a good read on this. This person stopped and continues talking, or is kind of stops talking, kind of brought to a standstill as sort of like it comes around the corner. But she doesn't get an immediate vibe on what they're gonna do. It's just kind of, everybody kind of freezes for a second. She doesn't really have a bonus action. That's gonna be her turn. So yeah, and there's nothing she can do about that, I don't think. Oh gosh. Did we just waste our natural 20 initiative? We might have just wasted our natural 20 initiative. Yeah, we're playing a solo D&D campaign. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for joining. Yeah, alright, so it's gonna pass the Ott. We kind of know what Ott's gonna do already. Man, I can give her an insight check on Leah. It's a super easy one. Not with a natural 1. She sees everybody kind of come to a halt, and silence taps into sort of her mammalian primal brain that's like, oh, it's the silence right before everything, all the shit hits the fan. And she wants to be the first one to make that. She's gonna pull her bow and try to fire 2 shots into our scout right up front. Makes sense to me. One's gonna miss, one's gonna hit. 1d8 plus 2. Nice. 9 points of damage, so she shoots scout sort of center mass. Ugh. It's down to 7 hit points. And I think moves back into the hallway and kind of, I guess, hides. Here's a question. Is there anything for her to sort of like rubble, or anything for her to hide behind? No. Okay, so she can't really hide. So she's just going to sort of disengage and move back, I think, next to Imbar. Not behind Imbar, but next to Imbar. That brings us, so it's Leah out there in the front by herself. All the bad guys go. The scout gets shot, yells out in her language. Oh, she shot me. Which Leah totally understands now, but can't really communicate with. It's like, oh no, everything's definitely hit the fan now. She would try to wave her arms and do like a damage control, but it's not her turn, so it's not. And her communication skills are not really great, so everybody kind of falls upon them into fighting. So I'm going to let that scout go first. They got shot. They're going to pull out their bow. Bow or... You know, they're already close because they were already moving that direction. I think they're going to just move forward with the short swords and make 2 weapon attacks against Leia. So pulls 2 weapons and sees her flailing and runs in and tries to attack her with the short swords. Full miss, full hit. 1d6 plus 2. 6 points of damage on Leia as Leia gets cut with one of these. And this is to what, 21? Alright, so yeah, full combat now. So no, not really saving it now. She's unarmored. This person ran up and just tried to cut her down with short swords. Tribal warriors are all in the back. They're all going to have to move up. They only have spears. They do not have any ranged weapons. They're not going to throw their spears. They have pack tactics, though. There's 7 of them. And you're going to roll a d6, and that's however many are going to be able to get up on Leah, like in melee. So she is almost completely surrounded. These all get advantage. And she's going to take 6 attacks. She just gets swarmed. Let's just count hits. What's their bonus? +3. What's Leah's AC? 15. Alright. So they've got to roll a 12 or better to hit. They didn't. 1 miss. 1 hit. 1 miss. 1 hit. 1 miss. 4 misses. 2 hits. Amazing. Amazing. Wow, that's very lucky. That's very, very lucky. Oh, sorry, they rolled d8s. They get spears. Right? They're not using a shield, are they? No. 8. Plus... Oh, just 1 for each. Alright, so 10 points of damage. So she gets... absolutely shish kebabbed. But she is up there. She is alive. But she's not in good shape. Alright, that's all the bad guys. Delg's turn. Can't heal. Healing's done. Everybody's taking the healing that they can get until we take another short rest. That's not good. Delg's just, I guess, gonna try to use a sling. It's gonna hit. And do 1 point of damage to one of these tribal warriors, I guess. Would they go after the tribal warriors? Yeah, because I think everybody kind of swarmed in around. Yeah, I think that would be whoever's closest. I wish I could put it against the scout, but probably not. Oh, and the noble's in the back. Did the noble do anything? The noble's taking cover. Just finding some place to sort of take cover right now. Because they also do not have a ranged weapon. So we're a little lucky in that case. And then a lot of these don't have ranged weapons. That is the situation that we are in. It's not great. Doug did 1 point of damage, so... I mean, it's not nothing. Maybe that'll be helpful. Imbar. Alright, Imbar. We desperately need your help. Is going to run up and attack the one that Del just hit. She will get the advantage because she's going to have Leah next to her. will absolutely hit. That's a D plus 2d6. Yeah, that guy's dead. That guy's dead. Immediately, ruthlessly cuts down that first one with that shining moon longsword. Cuts through him. And edges in with her shield and heavy armor to protect Leah. And she'll move into that space. So to take away one way for more people to swarm in around her. That's Imbar. It's back up to the top. It is Leah's turn. Leah's got to disengage, right? There's nothing she can do here. That's gonna be... She has to disengage and get away. So she disengages and full moves back away. Unfortunately, that's her turn. That's all she can do. She doesn't have a good bonus action here. Dang. You hate to see it. It's not really what you want to do with your top of initiative slot, but here's what's happened. Ott will run into the fray. She'll get advantage from Imbar. Is that gonna hit? Yes, that will hit. These guys are very easy to hit. 8, 9, 10. Oh, almost kills him with one shot. Down. Next guy's down to just 1 hit point. She does have a second attack, though, which she is going to use. And she is going to hit, which will kill him, which will allow her to frenzy, do her rampage, and she will turn around and try to bite attack the next one. Which she'll hit with that. Alright, cool. So, 4 points damage. So, this guy, dead. This guy has 7 hit points. Nice. Alright, perfect. Alright, that was her turn. All the monsters' turn. Noble. There is a spot where the Noble could get in. Technically, the Scout goes first. The Scout has 2 people who are just chewing through her. Chewing through their group. On the high ones go against the Imbar. That is high. Alright, does 3 attacks against Imbar. Right? No, sorry. 2 melee attacks, not 3. Miss. Easy. 20 AC. Not gonna hit him. Cuts into him. But, Imbar sort of turtles up, has her shield, has her big glowing sword, just battering away those hits. And she's gonna come in with her own attack. That's it. I guess technically they would have had advantage on those attacks. Alright, so it is gonna hit with 1. Sorry. Because they would have had advantage. And of course they'll do maximum damage. 8 points damage. Imbar. That's okay. That's okay. Everybody's looking fine. We're doing fine. Everything's okay. We don't need to panic yet. No panicking. Not yet. Alright, that's the Scout. Noble is going to continue... No, is going to be able to move in. Because we've killed 2 of them. So there's enough room for everybody to... Everybody get a little love in the front from all the bad guys. Alright, who's it going to go against? Oh, also against Imbar. That's a full miss. For our Noble with their rapier. Then we have a bunch of tribal warriors. How many of these guys we got left? 5. The Scout... Ooh, should have technically made a morale check. That's my bad. I forgot about that. Wouldn't have mattered, they passed it anyways. Tribal warriors are not hurt enough to look for morale checks. And there's plenty of them remaining, so they're still in the fray. Right, how many of these are going to go against Imbar? 1. Okay, only 1's going against Imbar. Gonna miss. Which means the rest are going to go against Ott. So Ott's going to take 4 attacks. Hit. Hit. Pretty sure. Okay. Hit. Dang. Hit. Alright, she's going to take 4. Ouch. She takes 21 damage. Oof! And she gets pin cushioned. Puts her down to 12 hit points. So much for that full. Good thing I did that full heal, I guess. But the numbers are not on our side. And hasn't done anything in combat yet, which is really hurting us. Maybe I should have. I probably should have had Igni cast his breath. That would have been a perfect opportunity when they were all bunched up. That was dumb on me. It was dumb on me. That's all right. They probably will live. We'll probably live through this. It'll be fine. We'll survive, maybe. All right. That's everybody. So Delg's down there. Delg's got a sling. Delg got a sling. I'm gonna give Delg an insight check. See if he can identify who's. Nope. No. All right. Makes an attack, not with advantage. Is going to hit one injured tribal warrior for 4 hit points. Nice. I was gonna see if he could use that insight check to see if the noble of the scout would be a better target for him as far as sort of like bringing this combat to a close more quickly, since we're outnumbered, by taking out the leadership. But he's just freaking out because, again, he's not a battle-hardened adventurer, and just slings a stone at the closest person and hits the tribal warrior for max damage right off the dome. Their kind of eyes go cross-eyed. That's Delg. Nothing else for Delg to do, really. That's Imbar. Imbar definitely has the scout. The scout and the noble on her. I don't think she can get to the noble and have advantage, so I think she's going to go against the scout with advantage. She needs to get this guy out because this guy is doing clearly the most amount of damage per turn. That's definitely going to hit. Yeah, they have an AC 13. Yeah. And she gets the extra 2d6. Yeah, that guy is toast. She cuts down the scout. X. So we have 2 dead tribal warriors as well. Cuts that one down and levels her sword at the noble next, I feel like. Ooh, what's gonna happen now? Ooh. Is that an intimidate check? I feel like that's an intimidate check. This feels pretty intimidating. She's not any good at intimidation, but because of the way that we use charisma. So just flat d20. It's good, but it's not good enough for the room DC. It's intimidating, but it's not I immediately surrender intimidating. But they have lost a few people now. They still have the majority of their people, so they're not making mostly saves at this point, but it's getting close. Alright, Leah is out of melee. She has the ability to now use her things. So if she does Ice Knife, how many people can she hit? 6. Oh, wow. Okay. I think that's everybody. So she's going to center that on one of these guys. This first guy with 11 hit points. And then everybody else will take that overflow damage from Ice Knife. So we're going to use Ice Knife, and I guess it's not... Sorry, the roll was actually how many people can I get in there without hurting my own people. I should have finished the sentence. That was my intent. So I'm not going to re-roll it, because that was... I had the right intent. I didn't say the full thing out loud, which would have been helpful probably for you guys. Alright, so it is Ice Knife. Shard of Ice. Fling it at one creature. Makes a ranged spell attack. On a hit, takes some damage. On a miss, shard explodes. And each creature needs dexterity saving throw or takes some cold damage. I could do this at the second level. If I do it at the second level... That would give us 3d6 of cold damage. That gives us a better possibility of just maybe her killing some people outright. Yeah, so she's going to do it at second level. So she's going to cast Ice Knife at second level. Use that second level slot. She's going to make a ranged spell attack on one of those guys. It's going to be a pretty easy attack. So hopefully we pass it, because she only needs to roll a 6. A 5? Really? A 5. Okay. I got nothing to boost that up with. Alright, right, they have an AC of 11, correct? No, they have an AC of 12. Alright, so I needed to roll higher than that. I thought it was 11. Doesn't matter. Doesn't hit them. I don't believe they take any of the piercing damage. A ranged spell attack on a hit. Yeah. Hit or miss, the shard then explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 3d6 cold damage, not 2d6. Alright, dexterity saving throw. What is her... What's her DC? 13. So they got a meter beat to 13. Which started off at the top. So the noble. I think the noble's going to save. Does not. That's 12. Fail from the noble. Fail from the tribal warrior. Fail. 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 Everybody fails. So the first part didn't go off right. And everybody else will take 7 points of cold damage. Which I think is going to knock out 2. Noble down. Right, it's a total of... Oh no, sorry, 7. It's just 7. Noble has 2 hit points. Sorry. 2 hit points. This one goes down. And these all get reduced to 4 hit points. It's this big explosion of cold happens. The shard of ice gets flung through the air by Leia, bounces off one of the tribal warriors. Sort of leather armor, not sticking into it. And then, boom, explodes into the just flash cold energy. Sweeps over them. And everybody looks real bad on the other guy's side. It is Leah's turn. She is going to go after a tribal warrior. She has advantage because she has a friend next to her. She'll miss with the first attack. She will hit with the second attack. Rolls the minimum damage to avoid killing him. Like... Sweet baby girl, you have to roll higher. It's not helpful when you do this. I thought we were gonna do that. We were gonna proc the rampage. We were gonna kill like 3 people this turn. And then you did the minimum damage and didn't kill 1. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Alright. Well, I guess it's the bad guy's turn. It's that poor showing from Ott. Boo! Get better, please. Our lives are on the line. Alright, everybody needs to make a little charisma saving throw. Noble? Noble saves. And how many of these guys do we have left? We have 4. Two of them are going to try to run. The first one is going to provoke from Ott, and the second one's going to provoke from... Oh, okay. From Imbar. So they'll each get a swing. Is their reaction. And they're both going to have advantage. Ott's going to hit the first one. And Imbar's going to hit the second one. I don't think Ott, again, has to roll... Well, there's no way she can't kill the one that's on hers, because that's the one she attacked already. Imbar could potentially not kill theirs. Especially not by rolling a 1. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, she does not have a +3 to damage, does she? No. So this one dies, but is replaced by another one that's on Imbar. And this one does a runner. Put them as R. So that one runs. Here's a question. Can they fully get out of the combat arena where we can see them? No. Okay, so they're in the process of running. So we could still maybe shoot them. Alright, so one did their run is their turn. And the other 2 are going to attack. I'll just say 1 on each. So 1 on Ott, they're going to lose their advantage at this point. And 1 on Bar. Neither of those are going to hit. They're swinging wildly. They're losing the momentum. It's getting close to the end to them. They're flagging. They're getting tired at this point of fighting. And the noble will run up and try to stab whoever looks the most injured to them, which is probably going to be very plain to see that that is Ott. So we'll dive forward and make an attack. We'll have advantage on this attack for the noble, for sure. 19 on the die. D8 plus 1. 6 points of damage is scores Ott. How much? Sorry. Move too far. How much damage did I say? Did I say 6? I said 6, right? I'm gonna say I said 6. Moving too fast for my brain. Gotta slow down a little bit. Alright, yes. Noble comes in, lunges, gets a stab through the ribs on Ott. And that is it for the bad guy. So it's Delg's turn. Delg will sling against, I guess, Tribal Warrior. It's still the people who are in the front to him. Hit! Come on, max damage. No! But reduces one of these guys. Also, 1 hit point. Oh, technically could have gone after the runner. Sure, I'll sling against the runner. I think he knows enough. He knows important enough that that's the thing you should do. He's learned that at this point. Like, don't let these people retreat or we're going to have more issues later on. So I think this sling stone flies over the combat that's happening and off that dude in the back who, boom, falls down dead. With their 1 hit point they had. Alright, that's Delg. That brings us to Imbar, I believe, right? Yes. Alright. Imbar's going to attack one of the Tribal Warriors. They have advantage, though. Not going to do anything. And no, the Tribal Warriors... Yeah, she's got a +5 to hit. She actually does hit the Tribal Warrior. Surprisingly. For 6 points of damage. Which is enough to kill one of them. We are down to just 2 bad guys left. Let's back up at the top. Leah. Leah's going to try to force a surrender. Surrender now. Again, she's in broken. I would say she has advantage on the intimidation check because of the situation, but she also can't communicate it very well, so I think it's just going to be a flat roll for intimidation. I think she only has a +1 to intimidate. No, she has a +2. 16. That is the room DCs. I think she's able to get through it enough that they are going to surrender at this point. I think it's using Noble. Noble's like, alright, we give up. We give up. Throws his sword down on the ground and takes a step back. And I think Leia tells her friends, alright, they're going to surrender. Keep an eye on them. I don't trust these people. So they grab the weapons off the remaining Tribal Warrior and off the Noble and push them over to the wall and take a look at... They're going to sort of bind them up. Ott will be in charge of binding them up and watching over them, making sure they don't get away. What's everybody else going to do? I think Delg can't heal anybody. So I think Delg and Imbar are going to roll the bodies over and try to pick up everything they can. I do want to check, need to check arrows on Ott. Okay, arrows look good. Can look to recharge. Somebody had arrows here, right? The scout has arrows. Can Imbar recharge her arrows? If she rolls a 4, she does. She does not. Alright, she does not find enough arrows to meaningfully increase her ammunition stockpile. So they rolled those bodies. What is Leah doing? Is there anything in this room? This was the command center, so I assume she's looking for written down orders, things of that nature. I'm assuming there's like a big sort of like campaign table in the middle of this sort of operating theater that they've converted into a war room. Is that true? I think for sure. Okay. With the bonus, it's going to be a positive. So the answer is yes. So she goes over there and she starts rifling through papers and looking at them and things, trying to, while she's making the most use she can out of this comprehend language that only lasts for an hour, she's trying to get a feel of what's going on, why are these people here, what are they doing, why are they conducting this alliance of gnolls and goblins and whatever other faction is that I am, orcs, sorry, and the orcs, and why they're sort of like bringing this confederation together and what its purpose is. Can she get any of that information out of here? Yes. All right. That's for sure, yes. The thing is, I'm going to roll on the prompts, because I think she's trying to get a general sense of, like, what the heck's going on here. That's kind of why they've been sent here. Is to figure out what's going on. And we'd rather figure that out through hard evidence rather than talking to, like, this noble trying to figure out, trying to sift through their lies and whatever else they're going to tell them. 88. Acquire. They're here to acquire something. Acquire a trick. What could that mean? Acquiring a trick. So they're here to acquire some sort of trick. Or creating the Confederation is there to acquire a trick. Is this like something to like draw their attention away from something the foreign faction is actually doing? No, we don't get that sense. So it's not some sort of diversion tactic. It's to acquire some sort of trick. Are we thinking of trick as in like a prize? Like something valuable? Yes, okay. So we're here to acquire something that's valuable to them. Is this in an aggressive, like, war-mongering kind of sense? No? Is this like a cultish, religious, power kind of thing, like worship or ritual kind of thing? No, not that either. This is not a warmongering thing, it's not that. Alright, well, so acquire a trick, but that doesn't really give us a good sense of what exactly. I'm going to go from my local table, and there's I believe it's 20. Let me double check. I did. A D20 subject or object. Let's see if that gives us a little bit better as to what they're talking about. Ooh, a 20. That's a PC. That would be set up to specifically to capture one of us. So we go through there and pull our names, and we pull a familiar name out of the noise of the documents we're looking through. Let's go down to our infections NPCs. These would all technically be NPCs, so I'm wondering it's PC, so it's gotta be us, right? Somebody is specifically... This group is put together specifically to acquire Leah. Weird. I'm just going to make a note. Acquire Leah. Creation is for the purpose of collecting Leah. And I have no idea what that means. And I think I'm going to save it till next time for us to figure it out. That's a fun place, and I'll noodle on it for a week to see how I feel about it. A week or two before we get back here. And I'll think about what maybe that's going to mean, and then we'll do some rolls, and we'll see what that kind of comes out to. I'll also do probably the treasure rolls in between sessions. I don't think that's going to be a worthwhile thing for us to take a look at, and then maybe we can have our interrogation with our noble, and maybe we can provide some context for what we're learning. So that'll be an interesting way for us to pick up next time, directly kind of jumping off point. Oh, sorry, chat. I missed that message. Knowledge of a secret room. No, the thing that we were looking for in here has got to be some. We're looking for something for a grander plot, not just knowledge of a secret room. That's something that is possible for us to find on one of the dead bodies. One of the things that I have in my pocket contents is a map, and sometimes we can just find like hand-drawn maps. That's how we knew what was in this room before we got to it, because we had found a gnoll that had a hand-scribbled portion of the map in their pocket. Kind of telling us where it was, and that this was sort of like the foreign faction command center. So now we're gonna have to figure out what that is. Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. This is always fun. I really enjoy doing this. I hope you guys enjoy it. If this is your first time checking it out, there's certainly plenty of episodes. This is episode session 41, so there's a lot of episodes up to here. So if you're feeling lost about what the heck is going on, what are we talking about this confederation? Why are people after Leah? Why is Leah able to sort of speak this language? What does any of this have to do with any of their friends, and why are we here? There's 40 sessions to kind of get to this point, so if you got some free time on your hands, that's a great way to spend it. Throw it on in the background while you're working on something else. It's good listen. But that's going to be everything for me. Always fun. Really enjoy doing this. I was looking forward to get back to this. And I'm very excited to find out why these people are after Leah, why they're creating an entire confederation of different groups of monsters to acquire Leah. I think this could go in a really cool direction, which I'm very excited for. But thank you for hanging out with me. Of course, we have videos about the solo stuff, as well as just normal D&D, tabletop RPG stuff over on the channel, so go check out all those videos. Our most recent video as of recording was the one about sort of morale, which you got to see a little bit of me use a little bit here. So if you want to know a little bit more about that system, go check that out, and why I kind of started using it, and why it's better for me. Why I feel like it's really improved my games, both my solo games and the games that I run. But I think that's going to be it. I will see you guys next time, alright? Take it easy. Bye.